Can Arsenal win the Premier League next season? They have been very, very close over the past 3 years. They've finished second, and second. And next season might be the final chance, the final last opportunity for Mikel Arteta to win the Premier League. Arsenal fans are losing patience. They are basically saying next season is your final season if you don't deliver. Next season, he is going to be competing with stronger teams. City is getting better. Liverpool are trying to retain it. And I feel like Arsenal, as always, they always have a chance. Every season, they have a chance. You can make your jokes, you can make your trolls. They will always be competing for the Premier League. And I feel like if they listen to me and if they go after every single person that I'm proposing right now, Arsenal will be the Premier League champions next season. Before I tell you my 3 players, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and put down in the comments what you guys think about every single person I've just mentioned, or if you have any other suggestions, any other players that you feel like could do pretty well at Arsenal, put them down in the comments. So far, we know Arsenal has pretty much made their first signing, and that is Zubimendi, who's coming from Sociedad, who I genuinely believe is the perfect, ideal signing. I wanted him specifically for Real Madrid, but of course, Arsenal was the team that managed to get him over Liverpool, over Real Madrid, and over Barcelona, who, of course, over the past 2 years has been trying to get him. I feel like Zubimendi ticks so many boxes and will be perfect in the system to how Arsenal plays, will allow Rice to have a lot more freedom going forward, will be the perfect person to carry the ball forward, penetrate through the middle, find a pass, a much bigger upgrade than Partey, and of course Jorginho, who's just left Arsenal to go to Flamengo. But the 3 players that I have does not include Zubimendi. I have already pretty much guaranteed Zubimendi coming to Arsenal. So the first person who I feel like Arsenal must get is someone they are currently being rumoured to. They are currently picking between 2 strikers. It's either Sesko or it's, of course, Gyökeres. And for me, it's only one person and one person only. I think like Arsenal should go all in, pull the trigger for Gyökeres from Sporting. Listen, I've seen Arsenal fans be very hesitant on signing Gyökeres. Firstly, they're saying he's very heavy on the ball. He doesn't have the great of touches. Technically, he's not a great striker. He's not as talented as Sesko. Listen, you guys have seen Mikel Moreno score 7 goals and he's not Neymar, fam. You guys have seen Kai Havertz over the past 2 years score 22 goals and 10 assists. And bear in mind, he could be literally 40 goals if he doesn't average 2 misses every single game. So don't tell me that you guys want the Neymars. Don't tell me you want the Vinicius Juniors. Brother, you want a goal scorer more than anything else at this point. And now you've got someone who's scored over 80 goals over the past 2 seasons in the Portuguese league. And you're telling me you don't want that person. The same person who's been scoring goals in the Champions League. The same person who's been scoring goals with Sweden. You don't want that person? Then the other arguments against him are, well, he's coming from the Portuguese league. You've seen Joao Felix, you've seen Darwin Núñez, you've seen Gonzalo Ramos not do well. Okay, that could potentially be true, but why are they the only 3 players that's been used as a case study for the Portuguese league? What about Bruno Fernandes? What about Ruben Dias? What about James Rodriguez? What about any other player? Vitinha, João Neves? What about them? Why is it only these 3 that people are targeting for literally the case study of don't sign anyone for the Portuguese league? Brother. Then there's some people saying, well, he played in the Championship a couple years ago. We should not be signing someone at that level. We should aim for higher. But you guys are the same people who always say, well, we should try to go to the Championship because there might be some gems. Liverpool have done it. Newcastle have done it. Brighton have done it. We might be the same team. But now you want to reject the idea of someone who did play in the Championship, scored a lot of goals in the Championship, went to the Portuguese league and still banging in goals, but you still don't want him. But Sesko is younger and there's so much upside in him. Brother, you want someone that can come in right now and score goals for you right this second. You're not looking 5 years from now. Arsenal don't have the time, don't have the luxury to have and compete for the next 2 to 3 years. You guys must win now. And specifically, Mikel Arteta must win now. If you want a goal-scoring striker, if you want a proven striker who's been doing it for the past 2 years, there is no other option but signing Gyökeres from Sporting. The second player that Arsenal must get is someone from Barcelona, and his name is Fermin Lopez. Hear me out. Fermin Lopez next season potentially might not get a lot of minutes, especially with the arrival of Nico Williams, especially with Dani Olmo ahead of him in their picking order. especially when Rafinha will be starting as a 10 because Nico Williams will be starting on the left-hand side. Fermin Lopez, I've watched him for the past 2 years, week in and week out, and is honestly speaking one of the most talented midfielders in that Barcelona squad. If it comes down to me, he is well above Dani Olmo and brings a lot more than what you currently have in Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard has been a great servant for the past 3 years, especially 2 years ago. We had a massive season with the assist. Last season, you saw the real Martin Odegaard. When you asked him to deliver, when you asked him to step up, he was nowhere to be seen. You called him Ghost Guard, you called him Mid Guard, you called him Haywan Guard. He was nowhere to be seen when the time was there for him to do it. And with Fermin Lopez, he's done it at the big stages. He scored against Real Madrid. He's won the Euros. He's won the Euros under 21. He's scored massive goals in the Olympics. On top of that, he is a much better goal-scoring midfielder than on Odegaard. The arguments about Odegaard for the past 12 months has always been, why don't you shoot more often? Fermin Lopez does it and shoots on an average of 2.7 shots every single game. He wants to score. He reminds me very similar to Gundogan, where he is amongst the final third, where he is crashing the box, and that's what Arsenal need. They got Zubimendi. They don't need someone to progress the ball, by the way, which he can do at a great level. They don't need a creator like Zubimendi, which, by the way, he can do at a great level. They need someone who can be just behind the striker, crash the box, be in the final third, create with his wingers, and link up with his striker. And Fermin Lopez ticks every single box, something which Martin Odegaard can't do. And Fermin's off-the-ball movement is second to none. He is willing to run in behind the defense. He is willing to make the selfless runs that can create space for other players to run into. He does it better than anyone else. And like I said to you guys, if Arsenal are smart, they should approach Barcelona, offer him 50 million, offer him 55 million. Barcelona need the money. Barcelona can't guarantee him starting minute players, and he's not even the first person off the bench. Fermin Lopez can literally be tempted because Barcelona wanted him to sell him to Saudi, but he said nah, he wanted to stay. He can be tempted, especially from a Spanish manager in Arteta, especially with, you've already got Spanish midfielders in Zubimendi and Mikel Merino. It can be done. And last but not least, you saved the best till last, right? You saved the best till last. And this person doesn't need any sort of introduction. This person can literally bring the Premier League back to N5. This person can change the destiny of Arsenal. This person can be the reason why Arsenal win the Premier League. And he is someone that plays for my club. He is someone that I would be very annoyed if he leaves, but I feel like should leave to fulfill what he can actually do, to fulfill his actual talent and his ability, and to fulfill which I personally think he can be the best player in the Premier League. And his name is Rodrygo da Silva Goers. Hear me out. Listen, I don't want him to leave. Let me just make it very, very clear. Before you ask and before you wonder,
why is he saying Rodrygo will be the best player in the Premier League? Why don't you want to keep him then?
Listen, he wants something that we can't offer. Every team can offer what he wants and his wishes and his dream, except for Real Madrid. He wants to play in one position and one position only, which unfortunately we can't give him that demand. He wants to play on the left-hand side, which we already have Vinicius Jr., who can do that, and Kylian Mbappe, who can do that. So he's not going to start over Vinny and Mbappe if he plays on the left. And he's done it so many times for Real Madrid. But when he plays on the left, he is amongst one of the most talented players, not just in Real Madrid, not just in the Spanish league, not just in Europe, but in the world. This guy, when it comes to talent, is second to none. For me, when it comes to talented, he's not far off from Vinny and Mbappe. He's been doing it for the past 3 years, and he's been doing it, playing in a position which he doesn't want to do. You guys don't watch him to a great level. I've been watching him every single game for the past 7 years at Real Madrid. He is so complete. There's no weaknesses in him. He can play literally in every single position, the left, the right, the 10, and a striker. For me, his best position is actually the left-hand side and behind the striker, where you can rotate between so many options. He is both-footed. In terms of close feet, in terms of close control, in terms of ball retention, in terms of getting out of the pressure, no one can beat him on that department. In terms of finding a goal, he's a great finisher, much better finisher than Vinicius Jr. His crossing ability is very good. He's so clutch. He's a Champions League player. He's got over 25 Champions League goals, more than any other player you can imagine, the likes of R9, the likes of Ronaldinho. His goal scoring numbers is incredible. However, the only thing about him is his inconsistency. Sometimes he fades away. Sometimes you don't see him in stretch of games. But the reason for that is because he plays on the right-hand side, which he's made very clear to Real Madrid he doesn't want to play. But he's been forced to play because Vini Jr. is on the left-hand side and he loves Real Madrid, so he's not going to complain. But his camp, his dad, his family is the one who's making the noise to Real Madrid and saying, if you don't give my son what he wants, then we are going to leave. You might not know this about Real Madrid, but you don't threaten Perez. Perez doesn't take blackmail. Ramos, Ronaldo, Casillas, Raul, he doesn't care what you've done to the club. You don't threaten me. I am bigger than you. Real Madrid is bigger than you. So don't tell me where to play. Don't tell me you want minutes. Don't tell me we want a better contract offer. I'm not going to give you anything you want. I'm going to tell you and you say yes. Rodrygo, unfortunately, is not going on that wave and would rather go to a different team who can fulfill his demands, which I feel like if any other team gets Rodrygo, they are the luckiest team in the world because he will make you better. He is an X factor. He is amongst few players in today's game. Give him the ball and he can create out of nowhere. He can score, assist without a system and with his system. And that's what Arsenal need. Over the past 3 years, the reason why you guys haven't won the Premier League, the reason why you guys haven't finished the story is because you needed someone to finish that story. You needed someone that can close the chapter. Saka is not that person. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this to you, Saka is not Superman. He's not Batman. He is just a Robin. He needs someone to be a Batman. Ta-da! Rodrygo is the Batman. He is the Superman. And he is the answer to your problems. So Arsenal fans, if you want to win the Premier League, just pay the money. Pay 100 million to Real Madrid. Pay him what he wants in terms of wages, which isn't, by the way, low. He wants very, very high wages. But sometimes you just have to give him the money because you know what he's about to give you. And I'm telling you right now, for someone who's watched Rodrygo for the past 7 years for my club, I hate the fact that he's leaving, but I understand the fact that he's leaving. I hate the fact that we have someone that can be the best player in the world, but he can't be the best player in the world for my club. So I'm not selfish. I would rather for him to leave, to be that person, because I know he can be that person. And Arsenal could be the team for him. So Arsenal, if you guys want to win the Premier League, those are the 3 players. On top of the fact that you've signed Zubimendi, there's 3 more players. And that is Kukurius, and that is Fermin Lopez, and that is, most importantly, Rodrygo. Goers, put down in the comments who you guys want. Put down in the comments if you guys feel like any of those players would benefit Arsenal. I think they will, but if any of those players will get Arsenal to the finishing line, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.